welcome back to the Scrapbooks channel. I am posting all of my February 2019 layouts. I have a ton, as you can see in this pile here. I'm gonna start off with the 2-page layouts because I have a whole set of 2-page layouts. Almost all of these were created for the Bash Your Scrapbook Stash February challenge. This was my first one that I completed for the challenge. I have 6 photos, so this is a big deal because I am not much of a 2-page scrapper anymore. And I'm using purple, which is not my favorite color, but I did use some of my L Studio kit, which I am trying to bash. That is my first 2-pager. Here's another 2-pager. This is from my daughter's Sweet 16. And you can see I put some of the gelatos on all the 1s and 6s on this Felicity Jane paper. So this is some Felicity Jane background paper as well. And I have 4 photos on this 2-pager. So that makes 2 in February. This is my 3rd 2-pager for February. And as you can see, it's pictures of myself with my daughter. This was on our trip to New York City in 2017. This was on the plane that we were posing. So I actually have another 6 photos. And again, this was a Bash Your Scrapbook Stash sketch that we had to use for their February Bash Bowl. This is double page layout number 4. And here are my 2 little girls. On this 2-pager, I have 5 photos. This is my next 2-pager. And these are photos of the sun setting and the sun rising on different trips to see my son in Alabama. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 photos on a 2-pager, so that is awesome for me because I usually do not fit that many photos on a 2-pager without it looking kind of crazy. And I also journaled on both the sides, so I'm proud of myself for doing that. Here is another 2-pager. On this 2-pager, this is our New Year's Eve, and my nieces came to visit for the New Year's Eve, and my girls. So this is the 6 of them with their makeup. Okay. This is another 2-pager from our New Year's Eve. And 7 photos on this 2-pager. And these are my grandkids and my niece and my nephew. That we're spending the night here for New Year's celebrating. This is another 2-pager, and this one is my daughter, my youngest, who went crazy at the Alabama arcade near my son. And you can see there are 3, 6, 9, 12 photos on this, and you can still have room for a title and some die cuts on both sides. And I used some of this Doodlebug paper strips going across and some washi, which I hardly ever use. So that's another one there. This next one is my son at that same arcade. They were in heaven there. And this one has 8 photos and some little ephemera from this pack, which I've had for a really long time, so I was glad to finally cut into this paper. This is another 2-pager, and this is my daughter and my husband going at it. They were just competing to see who would win. Of course, it was a shooting game because that's John's favorite thing to do. And you can see our little game strip here. And this is from L Studio. And that had 8 photos again in it. Here is another one, This one has 7 photos, and I used 2 PL cards. My goal is to use up like 500 of those this year. I also have one of these acrylic words and one of these acrylic shapes from my L Studio kit, and that is another PL card, and some washi PL label L Studio heart and stickers. So this is them playing at the arcade, but now they're all lined up together. So my husband, my son, and my 2 daughters. Those are my 3 little ones who all happen to be taller than me. How did that happen? This is a 2-pager. The night before my daughter's sweet 16, we all went out. The cousins did. And I am the oldest cousin, as you can tell. My sisters and all cousins, my nephew, and all my cousins. And this was at the Sky Bar in Fort Myers. I had a great time there. This is another 2-pager, and these are pictures I took of my classroom before I started to set up again. That's why it's called Starting All Over. Every year we need to tear our classrooms down, and at the end of the summer we build them back up. So these are just some photos of the before, what it looked like when we got back. And as you can see, nothing is where it was before we left. They move everything to the middle of the room as they vacuum and do the floors and the walls and all that kind of good stuff. Here is another 2-pager, and these are photos from New Orleans. We went to the museum there, and as you can see, these are some of the pics of the jewels and the gems. I hope you're not getting too much of a glare from all that shiny, glittery gold. And this is part of the Bashir Scrap Stash Bash Bowl. These are more photos from New Orleans. And these outfits were just magnificent. This was huge, and the shoes were phenomenal. And that one has 10 photos as well. Here is another one. And of course, this is of all the architecture in New Orleans, which I just love. And this one has 9 photos, and I had some flowers and some buttons, which I hardly ever use in layouts anymore. This is another 2-pager, and I'm trying to bash some doilies, as you can see. And this was also a BYSS challenge. I love my puffy stickers, and I've used some buttons on here too. This is another 2-pager, and this was one of the churches in New Orleans. And this one has 8 photos. Again, some more doilies, some more buttons, and even a wood veneer, which I haven't used in for like ever.